Well, winter is certainly here. I'm here at the lovely Lindholme Lakes complex. I'm actually fishing on Laurel's Lake, which is a lake I've probably only fished once or twice before. It's a very fresh morning, it's foggy. There isn't any wind at the moment, but this is a perfect opportunity for a bit of a winter session where I'm going to be fishing with a very simple method, but it's one that can be very effective at this time of year. Location can be so important, especially at this time of year, and the peg that I'm faced with today has got 2 or 3 options, which is something that's always great to try and build into your fishing during winter, because we know that fish move, fish can be shoaled up, and some of that is going to be reflected in our approach today. But this peg gives me a little bit of open water. I've got an island to my right that's got plenty of features around it, and I've also got an island straight out in front of me further out, which obviously is an area that I can tackle probably later on during the session. Now, the method that I'm going to be fishing today is the pellet feeder. It's an incredibly simple method to fish, but it's one that can be absolutely fantastic at this time of year, especially if you don't want to feed much and if you plan on being quite mobile. Now, the plan for this session is basically going to be for me to start at about halfway in that open water, and then I'm going to work my way round to the right where I've got this lovely island that's got loads of overhanging branches and things there that look like fantastic fish holding areas. And then if it goes quiet from there, or if we stop catching, I'm then going to work my way across to that island further out. But initially it's all about the pellets. There's a couple of different little things that we can do with a pellet feeder. So I'm going to start in that open water, see if we get any sort of indications, see if it's going to be telling us if there's any fish there. So let's get a feeder out there. A common question at this time of year is when and why would you select to use a pellet feeder, especially over a method feeder? And for me, I just love the design of the pellet feeder. You know, it's such a nice, neat, compact design. But the thing with the pellet feeder is, especially when we're using sizes as small as this, it allows you to feed much less. It means you can present the bait right where the fish is going to be getting access to the actual pellets themselves. By its very nature, it basically forces the pellets out through one end, and that's exactly where you put your hook bait. And at this time of year, you quite often need to be quite mobile. You might be putting the feeder in different areas of the swim as you're actually trying to locate fish initially, and then you might even find yourself chasing them around the peg. When you're using feeders as small as this, it just means that you're not leaving little piles of bait all over your swim. There's only a few pellets going in each time. I'm using the free running version today. It's simplicity in itself. It's a nice, simple, free running pellet feeder, and with this quick change system, it allows me to change the feeders if I want to step up or down in size, and also if I decide I need a heavier feeder. The one I'm using today is just 18 grams, and because it's such a compact, well designed feeder, that feeder will allow me to cast anywhere in the swim today, because they cast really aerodynamically and they're really nice and discreet when they go in. Well, I've had 3 casts now in open water, 2 straight in front of me and 1 halfway between there and the island. I haven't had an indication yet, no liners or anything like that. So now I'm going to go to the point of that island where all those bushes are overhanging. Well, that was just round the side of the island. I explored all that open water, but didn't get any signs. Did get 1 or 2 indications, a couple of liners just before this went round, so hopefully that's signalling that we found 1 or 2 fish. I'll return to the spot once we've landed this one and see if there's any more there. There's a good fish, certainly worth waiting for. There we go, fantastic. Such a simple method when you get the things right. Location looks like it's going to be key today, but that's typical of winter fishing. There we go, lovely fish. Just as you can see, you could just see the MXC3 hook there. That wasn't coming out in that part of the mouth. Size 16. Beautiful fish. Freezing cold. Beautiful fish. One of the great things about winter fishing is that you can keep your bait tray relatively simple. Today we've got the pellets. These are fishery pellets, just 2mm. That's plenty for today's session. You don't need a lot in winter, so that's the main ingredient. I've then got some ground bait as well. This is just a lovely fish meal mix. It's a sweet mix. It's aimed at F1s, and that is something that I can just cap off the pellets. So you can put pellets in the feeder and then cap it off with ground bait so that the pellets expand and empty the feeder. But that just gives you the option of trying ground bait, because there are times when they prefer a bit of ground bait. And then I've got a selection of hook baits, just the usual suspects. Selection of pellets there, different hard pellets for the band. I've got various wafters and dumbbells and bandams in there, and that is it. Can't get much simpler than that. Well, that one was just a bite out of the blue. Just nearly pulled the rod in from nowhere. It's been in about 8 to 9 minutes. Got to be patient this time of year. Well, we got a little F1 by the looks of it. Lovely. That's very typical of this sort of fishing. F1s, chunky F1s, lovely size. You would have thought it were a double figure carp the way that rod went in then. Have a look, where's he hooked? Just in the corner of his mouth. There we go. Lovely conditioned fish, that one. It's a really simple way of fishing. You know, it's tangle free, it's a fantastic method, and it works right the way through winter, going into January, February and March, especially when it goes really cold. Sometimes you've got to be patient, and sometimes you've just got to be a little bit mobile, trying different areas of the swim, just trying to locate those pockets of fish. It's a lovely method. It's a self-hooking way of fishing, so it's very exciting. The fish hook themselves, and I hope you've enjoyed this bit of an insight, and we really hope it's going to help you catch more fish this winter.